Hello, lovely people. Welcome back. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in Gozo as an international student. Of course, I'll be comparing living in Gozo and Malta. Let's get right into it. And of course, I'm featuring my baby boy here. I just have to be with him. He's been disturbing, okay? So, if he makes any noise, please pardon that, okay? Life of a new mom. Now let's just delve right into this video, okay? Let's even talk a bit about Gozo and Malta. Of course, we all know Malta is an island, and a lot of students have chosen to come to Malta for their international studies. I mean, I did. Malta was just the perfect choice for me for my master's program, and till today, I do not regret that. Malta is actually a really beautiful island, is in the EU, is in the Schengen zone. So at the top of my head, one thing I can say about Malta is bubbly. Like a fast-paced environment is beautiful. If you're someone that loves being in a fast-paced environment, like you want to do things on the go, sharp, 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 Malta is that place for you. While Gozo is, laid back, Gozo is beautiful, and it's quiet. It's not as busy as Malta. That's just Gozo for me. Now let's get right into the pros of living in Gozo as an international student. One is the peaceful environment. I mean, Gozo is really peaceful. No noise. I mean, I'm not saying there is zero noise. When you're comparing to Malta, Gozo is really, really peaceful. The noise is low, really, really low. I mean, everything that constitutes the noise in Malta, you don't have that in Gozo, or is on the lower side. I really love that about Gozo. It's peaceful. Now, the second reason is the natural beauty. Gozo is so beautiful. I mean, you have a lot of historical buildings there. You have a lot of historical places. Or are you talking about the beaches there? Like very beautiful. I mean, I don't swim. I don't even know how to swim, but I love to look at the beaches whenever I'm on my way to school or I'm going to work or I have somewhere to go. I just love looking at it, watching people swim, enjoying themselves. One time I was at Masafo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Masafo, anyone. I was there. I saw one of the beaches there. Like the place is beautiful. Gozo is just beautiful. Like they have really beautiful beaches, and one thing that surprises me about it is you can clearly see the colors like in the water. You can see the really beautiful blue, and at some point you're seeing like a shade of green. Like it's so nice. Like you need to experience this for yourself. You need to look at this and you just appreciate the creation of God. It's so beautiful. Honestly, that's just what I can say. The third reason is the lower cost of living. Of course, when it comes to food, accommodation is lower when you're comparing to Malta. Things are just lower. The cost of living in Gozo is actually lower. A two-bedroom flat in Gozo is way cheaper than what you would see in Malta. So, yes, the cost of living in Gozo is lower. The fourth reason is less construction. I mean, in Malta, there are lots of construction going on. When you go to Malta, you see a lot of high-rise building coming up. They're just constructing these buildings, and this also constitutes the noise, like the noise, the dust, everything. But in Gozo, there are constructions that go on in Gozo, but it's not a lot compared to Malta. You won't be seeing that, trust me. So it's not a lot compared to Malta, okay? So the construction in Gozo is actually less and the noise is low. It's not like what's going on in Malta. My fifth and last reason is less traffic. Gozo is smaller than Malta, okay? Gozo is a sister island. The traffic in Gozo is, you can't even compare, say you're comparing it, because it's always like is almost non-existent in Gozo. There is traffic, but then it clears up within few minutes. It doesn't, last long like the ones we have in Malta. In Gozo, there is really little traffic. It's not a lot, to be honest. So these are my five pros of living in Gozo as an international student. Now, what are the cons? The first one on my list for the cons of living in Gozo is limited amenities. I mean, when it comes to hospitals, hotels, some services. Of course, you can't compare. Malta is bigger, so it just means that those things are more in Malta than in Gozo. One major hospital we have in Gozo is the Gozo General Hospital. And because this is like one hospital that everybody goes to, it's located in Victoria in Gozo. And sometimes you go there and the waiting period is just a lot. Same with the primary health care there, it's just a lot. Whereas in Malta, you have more options of that. So yes, you have less amenities available to you in Gozo. You just have to make do with what you have there. So that means if you have a hospital appointment, you need to go very, very early in the morning before people start coming in, because when people start coming in, you're going to have to wait for a little bit of time. Okay, the second one would be fewer social events. If you're someone that likes the nightlife, then maybe Gozo is not for you. I mean, there might be two or three bars or clubs that do stuff like that, the clubbing and all that, but it's not a lot compared to Malta. Malta has, the list goes on. There are a lot of it. I'm not even the nightlife type, which I don't really mind. Gozo not having a nightlife or having little to none is really something that doesn't, bother me. I'm okay with that. But if you're someone that is really particular about that, then Gozo is not for you. The third one would be transportation challenges. Let's say your school is in Malta and you live in Gozo, you always have to take the ferry to school. It's challenging. That thing is not easy, especially during the winter. Let me tell you all the story. During the winter, of course, I had to go to school. I had classes, and then I got on the ferry, and I tell you, I felt dizzy the whole of that journey. Oh my god! I mean, we stay up to 25 minutes in the ferry. We're on top of the sea, and I was just feeling dizzy because of the really bad weather conditions that day. Everything was just like this. It was wavy, and oh god, I felt so sick. It's just imagine that I have to go through that every day because I'm going to school. It's not easy. Honestly, it's not easy. That alone. I mean, sometimes I enjoy the ferry ride when the weather condition is very okay. Just looking out, taking pictures. I have some cute pictures I even took. It's beautiful to look at the whole thing, but then when there are really bad weather conditions and you have everything doing this way, I mean, it was that bad. Like the chairs, the tables were even moving a bit. It was that bad. That day I was even scared. But then, thank God, nothing happened. Everything went well. And sometimes, if the weather is that bad, they even have to reschedule the time for the ferry. It gets that bad. So if you want to live in Gozo, you have to really think about all this and be sure that you can do it. But I mean, I did it, so if I could do it, you can do it. Okay, you just have to weigh your options and do what works for you. Now, the fourth thing would be limited job opportunities. Of course, it's smaller than Malta. The job opportunities here are actually smaller compared to much more opportunities you would get in Malta. Sorry. The job opportunities are actually smaller compared to what you would get in Malta. I mean, there are jobs, but not like what you would get in Malta. It's actually less. Another thing I would like to add to the number one con of the limited amenities is actually the number of schools that are available in Gozo. I think there are only three of them. There are actually only three of them that I know that is in Gozo, which is the MCAST Gozo campus. We have the University of Malta campus, that's the Gozo campus, and then we have the Queen Mary University of Malta. Their campus is also located in Gozo, in Victoria, Gozo. Those are the only three. So even if you're schooling in MCAS or University of Malta, and where you take lectures and everything is not in the Gozo campus, then you still need to travel by ferry to Malta to do all that. So yes, you have limited schools that are located in Gozo. So all the popular schools in Malta, you see all of them located in Malta. Anyway, let's move over to the pros and cons of schooling in Malta. Now, starting first with the pros, the first on my list is the vibrant social scene. I mean, if you're the type that likes the happening place, you like the nightlife, you like the series of events and everything, Malta is for you. There are clubs, bars, eateries, just plenty, enough. Like the competition is there. If you're the kind of person that wants to get involved in all that, just live in Malta, okay? Malta has a lot of that to offer. Now, the second one would be the educational opportunities. Of course, there are more schools. There are so many schools that are located in Malta there. My school, GBS Malta. We have the Global College, University of Malta, of course, is there. All those popular schools you hear about are all located in Malta. Now, the third one would be access to more amenities. Of course, we have more hospitals, we have more shopping malls, more everything is just more there. They are more in number in Malta, okay, as compared to Gozo, where you just have like two or three that are available. But in Malta, you have a lot of options to choose from. The fourth one would be more job opportunities, because there are so many eateries, so many shopping malls, so many hotels, so many of everything in Malta. Of course, there are more job opportunities that are available in Malta. Now, what are the cons of living in Malta? Of course, higher cost of living. A two-bedroom flat in Malta would be way more expensive than what you would get in Gozo. Food and everything are just way more expensive in Malta. So yes, higher cost of living comes first. Now the second would be crowded environments. I mean, Malta is crowded, especially when it's tourist season, when people are around to just enjoy themselves. People are flying in and out of the country on a daily basis. It's crowded. It's really, really crowded, and it can be annoying because of how crowded it is. You see everything spilling into high traffic. The bus is getting full. In fact, this bus situation cuts across both Malta and Gozo, but it's worse in Malta. You would see that, let's say you're waiting for a bus, a particular bus, the bus would come but it's full. You have to wait for the second one. The second one comes and it's full. You have to wait for the third one. So it's crazy. It's really, really bad in Malta. But in Gozo, you can have that happening when, of course, there are more tourists around. But then, if the first bus is full, you'll definitely be able to get on the second bus. So it's not as bad as what we have in Malta. But this bus problem thing is both in Gozo and in Malta, but it's more in Malta. The third thing is the fast-paced lifestyle. I mean, if you're someone that loves the fast-paced lifestyle, it's not going to be an issue for you. But for someone that loves a more laid-back lifestyle, of course, it's going to be tiring, and you know, of course, it's going to be tiring and crazy. So this is really something that can get really pissed off if you're someone that just loves a peaceful environment. The fourth thing would be the construction, more construction and noise. Of course, people are putting up, buildings and everything. So the construction there is more, which equates to more noise. More construction, more noise, and of course, more dust from these construction sites. So that is it for the cons of living in Malta. So tell me, which do you prefer? Do you prefer living in Gozo, or do you prefer living in Malta? So if you value tranquility, you just need a very beautiful place, a very nice, beautiful place, and of course, lower cost of living, Gozo it is for you. But then if you love the bubbling, the fastness, and more opportunities, more options for social amenities, then Malta it is for you. So tell me in the comment section, which of this island will you love to live in as a student? Would you love to live in Malta, or would you love to live in Gozo? If you found value in this video, please hit the subscribe button, give me a like this video. Of course, share your comments in the comment sections and I will answer them. Thank you for watching to this point. See you in my next video. Bye.